Alright guys, welcome back to another Bat Rep, Rommel's Revenge. Now this is our new revised list. We have some more anti-air for the Germans this game. And we're playing the same British list that we played the last time. Let's get the board straightened up here, get our cards together. We're gonna get it on. Let's see what the Germans can do this time. So as the German player, I'm basically thinking about doing a right flank sweep. Give that a try. If that doesn't work this game, we'll reset the board and I'll try a left flank sweep. Just trying some different strategies. That's the great thing about this playtesting, guys. It's really useful for developing your lists and your strategies. And these Brits are tough to beat. Okay, I'm checking out my movement allowance for some of my units here. And then we'll start making some moves. I think the first thing here is the German general. I am going to definitely be looking at taking out those 17-pounder emplacements up there by the British base. So I'm going to move up my Panzer IIIs. I'm going to move up my anti-air support. And there we're going to go with the Tiger. Since he has that 40-inch range, he can sit back and try to take out those 17-pounder emplacements. And since the 17-pounder only has a 34-inch range, he'll stay right outside their range and try to just pound them and make a way for the Panzer IIIs to scoot up that right flank. So I'm going to try now. I'm bringing up the Panzer IV platoon. I've got another Panzer IV platoon and the company command over there by the base. I'm going to keep them back there as base support. And I'm just going to leave the Panzer Grenadiers, since I only have one platoon this game. Alright, let's give this a try. That's my initial German move. So I've got my Panzer IIIs up here by the oases. I've spread out my anti-air. They each have 20-inch range with their anti-air. I can't separate them out. I may want to add another platoon of anti-air, so that would be a kit that I need to order. Alright, now let's go down here and it's time for the Brit move. The Germans moved, really had no shots to call. What am I gonna do with the Brits? Well, for starters, we want to get those 25-pounder artillery in the action here. And I'm going to start moving my 17-pounders and relocating them. They're allowed a 2-inch movement. And what to do on this right flank here. I've decided to bring my British tank platoon up, the Crusaders, kind of towards the middle until I see what the Germans are starting to do, for sure. Kind of as a middle flank guard. And I'm starting to see this right flank for the Brits is fairly wide open. Now I've got to check a couple things here, so don't be hasty in your moves, guys, you new players. Kind of take your time a little bit. Check out what your movement rates are. Remember, you want to move a tactical movement if you want to shoot that turn. So there's my spotter team who's in a Jeep. The old Willie's Jeep. He's going to come on up. He's going to spot those Panzer IIIs off in the distance for an artillery strike. And don't forget those Hurricanes, guys. Now here's a flaw that the Germans just pulled. You notice that the Panzer IVs over by the head German base is not protected by anti-aircraft. That's going to prove to be a fatal mistake. Looks like I was getting happy down there. Probably listening to some good rock and roll while I'm playing. And there we go with the Hurricanes. We have 2 Hurricanes on this British list, and they are brutal. There they go, swooping in, meow, right on into the exposed Panzer IV platoon. My. Now that's my British infantry platoon. They're moving up. They've got the Grants over there. We got a 3-unit platoon of Grants shooting up that right flank, supported by the British infantry motor platoon. Here's the British move. We got some Grants up. We got our spotter team. He's looking down range. He's going to try to range in at least on those Panzer IIIs. We've got our little Stuart platoon, has not moved. We've adjusted the 17 pounders. Oh, they got a nice view right down, just like the last game. We got our motor platoon. There's our headquarters. Motor platoon staying put. Crusaders coming up just to sniff around and see what might happen. And here's the little Grant platoon. They're gonna sneak up that right flank. It's gonna be interesting. They're being supported by the Hurricanes uprange. And there you have it. Boom! Right off the bat, we have a Panzer IV taken out, and we have a Panzer IV bailed out. Now I can tell you the Panzer IV that bailed out did not remount the tank. Crikey! So now I'm rethinking my whole strategy, but I'm thinking at this point, there's just... wow. What should I do? I've already committed to that right flank. I can't really shift back while I could. So I'm just going to stick with the original battle plan, kind of just see how this whole thing pans out. I'm checking my range where I need to move my Tiger 1. I'm going to move him over, and he's going to start taking shots downrange at the 17-pounder emplacement. Interesting. Now I'm checking my move for my Panzer IIIs because I want to scoot them way up that right flank. See what I can do. I'm going to roll the dice. Those Panzer IVs, I do have a reserve Panzer IV platoon by the pond there, the Oases, as a reserve. So obviously those are going to have to come in play if that left flank is exposed. So here I'm going to make my moves. I'm going to move that full 20-inch range of the Panzer IIIs clear over to the right flank behind the palm tree forest, as it were. Now I want to point out, I do plan on buying another anti-aircraft platoon for the Germans, because it turns out you study the stats for those, they actually are very versatile. They act as a good, they can be anti-tank, and they can also be a situation where they can fire on infantry and other things. They're pretty versatile. I'm definitely going to pick up another platoon of them. Have to get online and order those suckers up. So you can see I'm starting to formulate a plan for getting those Panzer Grenadier platoon and those 3 trucks positioned to move and take over the headquarters. Alright, so we're going to be taking some shots downrange to no avail. He got a successful hit, but there was a gun save, 4+ gun save. Oh, also I forgot to point out too, the British, they tried to range in on the approaching Panzer IIIs earlier. I forgot to mention, and they did not range in. 3 attempts, they failed all 3 attempts to range in. So right now it is not going very well for the Germans again. Those Hurricanes are just pummeling them. And I guess if you know that you're going up against a list with British units with Hurricanes, I would you've got to just take some anti-aircraft. Unfortunately, I don't have 2 platoons of anti-aircraft. Maybe I need to look at doing that. Maybe even just like a partial platoon. Yeah, so we're going to bring up the Grants there. Now you see I'm moving 2 Grants into the Palm Grove, and I will be making a check for that here in a minute, where you have to do a cross check. Just on this, in this case, it's a 3+, and if you don't make the cross check, then the tank does not successfully move into the Palm Grove. You'll see here in a minute, one of those 2 tanks has to be moved back out of the Palm Grove because it did not make the check. So now we're doing some firing. We're going to be doing some firing from the Grants to the Panzer IIIs. And we're also going to range the artillery in on those lead Panzer IIIs up there on that right flank. Just checking my movements there. We're going to move those Crusaders up farther. So we're going to commit them out the middle. I'm going to move another 2 inches for my 17 pounders to try to give me some more middle protection up that middle flank. The middle front, I should say. Now we got the other Grant platoon. It consists of 3 Grants and a motor company, or motor platoon, I should say. And we're going to continue sweeping them up that right British flank. Now I'm going to bring up the other motor platoon to the right flank. So I'm starting to make some commitments here on where we're headed here with the Brits. They're not just going to sit back and play defense. I think we're going to try to sweep up that right flank and seize that German headquarters. And at this point, the Germans are going to have to push on their right flank to seize the British headquarters. So it's almost like a little bit of a seesaw. We're going to see how this ends up here. I'm also committing, if you notice what I just moved there, I moved the Stuarts, the platoon of Stuarts, up that right flank because they can move so fast. And again, this is about taking that headquarters. It's not about who can grind the other side down. So if you can rush in and seize the headquarters for 1 turn, game over. Okay, so here we go. We had our artillery ranged in. They ranged in on the second attempt, and actually they did not get any successful hits, but yet we had shots from the Grants there that did get a bale. And that guy, he had to move back out of the palm grove. And we did get one of the Panzer IIIs to bail. So there was some moderate success on the left flank for the Brits. And we did some more moving. As you can see, I'm showing you more of the up close of the movements. And then we've got our Hurricanes swooped down on that. Here we go. And you can see they got another tank bailed out. Alright guys, we'll see you on the next turn, turn 3.